Hello there. Welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world away, and we're now going to be doing the next 4 stages of the Fanhome release of Build Your Own R2-D2. I thought I'd have a change from the old Tatooine camouflage today, and I'm modelling one of the t-shirts that was a free gift, I believe, at the start of this build, which looks just like that. It's a lot cooler. It's very hot in the UK at the moment. But before we go into all the magazines, first off, we are building, as you know, R2-D2, and at the moment we're just about finished issue 6, I think, so we're going to be starting 7 today. If you want to get this for yourself, just put the link down here to the Fanhome website. You can get this all the way from pack 1, and the good news is, since the last stream as well, I think I did announce it in the last stream, you can get this over the pond now in the US. So if you want to get this for yourself, once again, just go to fanhome.com. It will automatically revert to your locality anyway, and then you'll be able to order this and some of the other things that Fanhome are doing at the moment. And for that reason, I've got these massive stills here. As you see, we're doing the Iron Man, and they come with some great Iron Man stills. We've got the Fast and the Furious build that we're doing through Fanhome, which looks like this. And again, we've got some, turn it around the right way, great stills from the Dodge Charger. But today, we've received R2-D2. Haven't even opened this, so let's have a look. Now, the challenge you have with these, even though they are pretty impressive, actually, let's do it on the side camera, is that obviously you need a good frame that's going to fit those. I'm not quite sure what the frame size are, but this is some of the prints here. Just hold that up to this camera. So you've got R2-D2, BB-8 and C-3PO. I do like that one. We've got an artistic rendering of Hoth with Luke and the AT-ATs looking like that. And the third one is just a massive close-up of R2-D2. I do love these. They would look good as like a trio on the wall. But as you see, I've got no wall space here. Not quite sure what I'm going to do with those yet. But we're going to start with stage 7. So without further ado, let's get cracking. So here's stage 7. As you can see, we're going to do a bit of the head frame, and we've got some leg components. So we're going to start working on these frame sections. Now, if you remember in the last stage, we had already put one in. We're going to start doing this, dropping it all the way around. So this is what that looks like. And then we're starting the details for the leg in stage 7. So as I mentioned last time, this is what we worked at. And we're actually going to start putting some more frames on this side here. And we want the frame that says DF04 on the top. As a matter of fact, both of these frames say DF04 at the top. And I do think, yep, they're completely identical. So you're not going to have a problem with that. We're going to put this in just like that. And like last time, put a nut in the top. Turn it over. And it's going to be secured in with one of the silver screws that come in this pack from the other side here. Got my trusty wearer screwdriver. Again, all of the things that I use are on my Amazon store, and if you want a link to that, it's in the video description. And I do have a different store for American viewers as well. Otherwise the shipping rates would be crazy to send from the UK to the States. But there we go, that's that one in. And then all we're going to do is take the last one that's going to go next to the one we've just put in there, doing exactly the same thing. Now, believe it or not, after having the R2-D2 unit that I've got here sitting down on the floor in the man cave for over a year without being charged, you've seen in the last few videos that I've had it on no problems at all. Well, it's got to that point that it needs charging. Now, I haven't done that yet, so that's why it's off today. And I'm not interacting with it. Well, I'm still talking to it, but you know. If anyone knows me, that talking to inanimate objects is, that's me. Anyway, so look, that's all been done. And that's the top section just done for this stage. We can put that to one side because we're going to be working on some details for the right ankle, which look like that. Now, we do have 2 little details in here, which is a dome frame and a hinge. Now, you need to keep these safe, but from my recollection, they never get used in this. So I'm going to keep it safe anyway, because that's what they told me to do. But I'm sure that they actually supply these when they're actually needed later on in the build. I guess that could be a spare. But all we're going to do is just piece these together. Now, all of these are metal. So for these details, all we're going to do is just put the sleeve over the top section, over this section here so it's flat, and then we're going to screw it in with one of the silver screws. Now I am aware on the top picture it looks like it's a black screw, but trust me, it's a silver one. So it's making that tight, and that's in. And repeat the process with the second one here. Just like that. Grab a silver screw, and again put that in the bottom here. Just like that. Now, I am aware we've got some screws left over. We also have some black screws here that we haven't used, but I find that the silver screws fit better in this one, so that's what I've used. And that's all there is to do in that stage. Now in stage 8, we're going to be doing the head frame and some ankle components. Again, we're going to be adding some details around this section here, and then we're going to be working on, oops, I'm spanning forward there, and then we're going to be working on the frame that's going to go beneath these sections here, looking just like that. And we've got another ankle detail to put on here, which eventually is going to go onto the leg here on this detail. So this time we're going to be taking this plate and we're going to start towards this side of the frame. So this one's going to go on just like that here, and because we're used to this, all we're going to do, put a nut in and a screw, and screw that one in. Same on the other side there. And then that one's fully in. And then we've got another plate here, which is going to go next to that one this side, just on this side here, do exactly the same thing. There we go, and that's fully tightened, and that's what that looks like. Now we can put that to one side for a second because we're going to start working on the frame that's going to go underneath this section. So we've got the frame pieces here, and quite simply they're just going to go together on top of each other just like that. Now you want to make sure they're the same way round so the numbers are facing up, and then we've got a little tab here that's going to go between them. That will go on just like that. So when we look at this from this side, that's how that's going to look. Now we need to put some screws in here. The screws go in from this side, and they are just the silver screws. So that's 1 and 2. So when that's done, that should look just like that. Now we're going to be working on some of the ankle sections. That's this blue section that we've got just here, and we need to bring over the metal barrels that we worked on in the last stage. And then quite simply, you see you've got a notch just in the top there. That's going to match this slider just here. So we're going to put one in this side and one in the other side, so that these points here are pointing towards the bottom just like that. Now we need to bring over the leg section. Was more to the point, we just need to bring over the ankle section here. We're going to be putting this on here. So basically this is going to go onto these 4 holes here. So I'll put that in, and it locks into place like that. Turn it over, and we're going to hold this in place with the black screws that we had last time. See, I told you it wasn't the black screws from stage 7. And these are just going to go into these points here. So here's the first one. Make that nice and tight. It's going to hold that in, and the second one just on the other side here. There we go, and that's the ankle section in. When we put that on the leg, it's going to look like that. And that's all there is to do in that stage. Now in stage 9, we've got some more of the head frame to do and some rear projector parts. So once again, we're going to finish this ring around the bottom here. We're going to put the whole unit here. I think we've got one more bit to put on there. That's going to go on top of the ring. So that's going to complete just the top section of his head, or the scalp. And then we're going to be working on the rear holographic projection lens, which looks just like this. So at the end, we're going to have the lens all complete. So we're going to start with finishing the frame section off. So once again, just line up the numbers that we've got here. Make sure they're all the same way round. So these are going to go in like that. And then once again, we've got 2 tabs this time. Just get them out to keep these into place. So we're going to put one on this side, one on this side, turn it upside down, and then screw these in using some more of the silver screws. So we have got a completed ring now. We want to complete the top section of frame here. So once again, we've got the last piece looking like that. That's going to go in here. And following the instructions from last time, we put a nut in this side. Get one of the silver screws here. Turn it over and we'll screw that in. So now this is going to go on the frame here. Now if you see, you've got a flat end and a round end here. So it's either going to go on, because this end, the smaller end, is going to go on the opposite round thing. It's either going to go on this way, or this way. So what you want to do is just keep turning it round until you find that everything fits. And you know what? I think the first time was a charm for me, because that's fit absolutely perfect. Now what we're going to do is all of these sections around are going to have a nut in them like that, and we're going to work our way around the whole thing, bonding this into place. So here's the first screw, and we're going to continue that all the way around. And there we go, that's all in. In fact, there were 12 that we had to put in there but that's all secure, not going anywhere. Put that to one side. Now we're going to make the projector. I'm just getting all the parts out for that, and all we're going to do is we're going to take the front of the projector and put the lens just into that section there. Then we've got the base to put on. That's going to go in there, dropped in like that. And then finally the end cap. Now this is going to be going on this way round, so it's going to fit in like that, but it's going to be in a position that we can actually screw this down to the part underneath. So we will need to rotate this until we can get those screw holes lined up, which we can there, and then that's going to be held in with 2 black fixing screws. Now I would love to tell you what issue they came in. I can't remember, but they're the only black screws you should have left. So here's the first one. Make that nice and tight, and then we'll do one on the second side here. And there we go, that's in place. And now as you can see, it enables us to move the projector in this little sort of like channel here. That's going to enable us to focus when we need to later on. But that is all there is to do in that stage. And in the last stage for that plaque, we've got head frame, lens and some leg parts here. Not a lot to do in this one. We're going to be adding another frame to this section here. It's actually going to start going underneath, so we're going to do the second layer of that dome frame, and then we're going to be assembling the lens. We can put this in the front, but realistically this doesn't actually go in the front here, just show you on the close-up camera, till way later in the build, but it's just showing you what it looks like. First off, if this is the open end of the frame that we've been working on, the next piece we're going to be putting in is going to go between these 2 pieces here. That's the opening end. We're going to put this in these 2 pieces here. So this is going to go underneath, just here, like that. Now this works exactly the same way as we did previously, which means we're going to be putting a nut underneath, like that. And then using 10 pairs of hands, we're going to turn it over and put a screw in the other side and tighten that up. And once you've got one in, obviously it keeps itself in, so it's a lot easier to do the second one. But here's the second one going in now. There we go, and that's the second layer going in now. I'm just going to put that to one side because we're going to just create the lens, which means we need these 2 parts. If you remember, that just slots into the side of here. We push that in. I'm not going to take it out again because it'll only mean putting it back in again. Then we're going to take the actual lens, which I kept in this protective case here. I did take the plastic off this side. I haven't taken the plastic off that side. I'm actually going to leave that in, and I will take that off later on because obviously we don't use this part till way later in the build. But this isn't actually going to go directly into there. That's going to go into this frame first. So we take it like this, put it in the frame, and then it's this whole frame section, which I'm just going to turn upside down here, which is going to go into this section here. So we hold it this way round and put this over there, making sure that the lens is completely flat in there. Just checking that on all sides, which it is. And then we're going to be securing that down with 4 of the black self-tapping screws. So there's one. I'll put one on the opposite side here. That's 2. Let me just make sure that the lens is still centered, which it is. Number 3. And then the 4th one. See, everyone who's worrying about that lens being scratched, as I said, it's got a protective cover on. So we're good. And that's number 4. So I'm going to show you how this is going to go on. Basically, if this is the front of it, you see you've got these slots there. All that's going to happen is this is going to go into the slots on the top and the bottom there, and then it will slide along when it's in the R2 unit, so it looks like that. But that is all there is to do in that stage, and that is all there is to do in that pack. Now, it's worth noticing we have got some parts for the leg here. We don't actually use that in this stage, so we can keep them to one side. I think they're used in pack 12. I think it says something about used in pack 12 on that one. But that's issue 10 complete, and that's the build complete. So let me just show you what we have done. We've got this section here now, which is basically mirrored R2-D2 over here. And then we've got the R2-D2 leg with the details that we put on today. But that's all there is to do in that pack. If you want to get this for yourself, once again, put the link down the bottom here and you can go and get that all the way from pack 1. But I really do hope you liked that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.